You have no idea how much you just nailed an exact issue I'm dealing with right now.
Nice.
Like, I love coming to work every day. He loves coming to work every day. But then I don't know if other people actually do love, or if they just tell us because we're their boss.
Yeah, and we actually had a client who came back from vacation. She was actually mentioning, and I had caught on to it, that she wasn't too happy to be back to work. I had heard her talking about it throughout the day, so when I started asking her, I was like, well, what's going on? Like, you could tell she's like, boss is asking me about my job. It's just about coming back to work in general after a vacation. You could tell it was like just total cover up, because like, my whole thing is like I've gone through like a lot of Simon Sinek stuff where it's like learn your why and get the team on board with it. And at the core, it makes total sense to me. But what I've realized is I'm terrible at actually explaining it. Like,
Yeah, the articulation of it is the hardest part
Yeah.
for me. It's like, how do I put this in a coherent sentence? I have no idea.
we're just having trouble like getting that vision that we share as like a feeling into actual words that turn into actionable steps that turn into something that somebody wants to be a part of. I have no idea how to put that into words. No matter how many books I read or courses I do, I cannot figure
true.
that part out.
An aim is a vision for the future. So we have the world as it exists right now, but there's also the little microcosm of where you guys live right now. And if you kind of look into the future, you can imagine multiple timelines, different ways that the future could go. And there's one version of the future where XYZ marketing goes out of business and people are miserable and it was, man, that didn't work out and it really sucks. Like that's one path. That's like a timeline of like, well, we know we don't want that one, right? But there's an infinite universe of other possible paths that you could take. What are all those possible different paths? A vision is essentially just saying, we want this timeline in particular. We want the version of the future where this is what happens. How we usually think about onboarding somebody to some sort of project, right? Is we as a founder have a vision for what we're trying to accomplish. To realize that vision, we break it into these little tasks. We have a house that we're trying to build. And so because I want to see that house, it's really intuitive for me to say, I need bricklayers and I need plumbing and I need little tasks. And then what I do is I go find people who can commit to those tasks. Can you lay bricks for me? And that's their onboarding experiences. I'm laying bricks for this guy. I don't really know why, but I can lay bricks and I'd be happy to lay bricks for him because he's going to pay me for it. But I have a job, but I'm completely isolated from what the vision is. I'm just doing the task because they hired me to do the tasks and I can provide the services to fulfill those tasks, right? But another way you can kind of think about this is rather than having the vision, turning into tasks and then committing people to those tasks, you can start at the very beginning by having a conversation with somebody and saying, here's the vision of what we're trying to realize. And then are you committed to that vision? Here's the house I'm trying to build. It's got this infinity pool. It's got these bricks over here. It's got this pathway. People have these kinds of experiences as they walk through the house. This is the place that I want to make real. What do you think about that? That sounds awesome. Have you ever thought about putting the pickleball court in the back over here? No, I hadn't, but that would be so cool. Yeah, you're both building the vision together. And then if you're both committed to that vision, then people are already committed, right? Then the conversation actually turns into, what do we need to do to make that real? If you have an articulate vision, you start there every time, then everything falls into place. And all the things that people are doing point back to something and they show up to work going, I know why I'm doing this because we already talked about it before.
You have no idea how much you just nailed an exact issue I'm dealing with right now.
Nice.